Hey there everyone, Trucker John here. So today I want to kind of discuss what has influenced me to create a YouTube channel and where do I get my inspiration for the content that's within my channel. So all of you that have been watching me, you know that I basically just document my journey and what I've done from the very beginning of getting into this industry up to where I am today. So as easy as it may seem to create that content and talk about it, it's actually sometimes very difficult, and that's why I don't really do that many live streams, because I'm not a man of many words, I guess you can say. I don't talk that much. It just seems like maybe I do, and I have a lot to say in my videos because I've condensed everything that I've done within probably a week down to my 15 to 20 minute video. But with that said, I have followed a lot of other YouTubers to gain inspiration on how I want to lay out my videos and the type of content that I share with my audience. So with that said, I've come up with a list of 10 YouTubers that have inspired me to create my channel and bring me to where I am today. So let me go through that list and we'll talk about them. So I've put my top 10 list together in this fashion. Number 10 will be the YouTuber that has given me inspiration that I started watching right as I got into the trucking industry, but I wasn't in it yet. And we're going to work our way down that list to number 1. And the number 1 YouTuber that has influenced me in creating this channel and the type of content I create, I've been watching since the very beginning of my research and progress to get into trucking and into making a YouTube channel. So of course, several of these will be truckers that have YouTube channels, so it's going to be very trucking related. However, stay tuned to the end of my list and to the end of this video, because the top 2 may actually surprise you because they are not in the trucking industry. I'm actually going to start my top 10 list with a YouTuber that has influenced me that is not in the trucking industry. So coming in at number 10 is Super Enthused, hosted by Jackie. So Jackie from Super Enthused, just as the title of her channel states, she is always enthused in everything she does in her channel. She's gained such a great following since I've even started following her less than a year ago, and her main thing is to bring a positive vibe to everyone that watches her channel. Now for me, that's a big deal because, as you all know from watching my channel, being positive and showing all the good things in the trucking industry have been paramount and number 1 for me. Very rare are you going to find anything negative on my channel. I just decide not to show that. However, there are some negative things that happened in my journey that I do share because that's related to trucking. So, but let's not get those two things mixed up, okay? I don't start drama. There's no drama on my channel. And that's where I gain inspiration from Jackie. She's a very positive person, and plus, she travels everywhere, and that's what I do. So Jackie travels around the country, around the world. She's based out of Florida, so she visits a lot of the attractions and theme parks down there. So where I have gained inspiration from Jackie is how I show roadside attractions and different venues that are not only related to trucking, but just to show that life out here on the road is not just about trucking. There's other things you can stop and smell the flowers, stop and see the scenery, stop and see those roadside attractions. That's what it's all about out here. Coming in at number 9 is Trucking Along with Kearsey, your positive voice in trucking. So Kearsey was definitely one of the truckers that I really looked up to while I was researching which kind of company do I want to go to and what do I need to know about the trucking industry. Great thing about Kearsey as well is she's one of the very few company drivers that have a YouTube channel that share her experience, gives her knowledge, and gives that positive vibe of what trucking is really all about. A lot of these other trucking YouTubers are lease operators, owner operators, and you get a wealth of information from them. But they never really talk about the company side of their journey, and that's where Trucking On with Kearsey comes in. So I really appreciate watching her channel, and I still watch her up to this day. And coming in at number 8 is Happiness by the Mile. hosted by Shelby and Dakota, her dog. So the things that have influenced me from Happiness by the Mile is the different types of camera angles she uses in her videos, the type of cinematography she's doing, the way she edits all of her sound has been really inspiring for me on the different types of shots I try to get in my trucking channel. And so far it's been a pretty big hit. I've recently incorporated drone shots in my videos, and I think mainly Shelby for all of that, because she has shown different ways to document trucking and what we do out here on the road versus just basically someone's head in the screen like this talking to you and they're not really showing you what they're doing. And coming in at number 7, Junior Honduras, hosted by Junior Honduras. So Junior Honduras' channel is basically a training channel for Prime and a recruiting channel for Prime as well. And he does a very good job at what he does. He's very well liked within the industry and with Prime. You're definitely going to see him in a lot of advertisements for Prime as well. He's been around. Junior Honduras has definitely been around. He's made his mark in the industry, especially from the training and recruiting side for Prime. In his videos, you're going to find him basically being a visual storyteller and explaining how to do very simple functions as a truck driver, whether it be backing, how to operate your APU, how to report hours for APU, how to alley dock. I mean, the list goes on. He will literally explain everything there is to know about the trucking industry for rookie drivers. Now, for me, I'm more of a hands-on person, so not that I didn't get a lot of valuable information from Junior, because I did. He definitely taught me a lot about what to expect when I came into this industry, because he also does live interviews with new drivers. And he actually interviewed me once back in Springfield, and you can go to his channel to check that out. In those interviews, he asks really great questions, and he gets honest feedback from these brand new drivers, these rookie drivers, and that helps people who are trying to get into this industry. That way they know what to expect and they're not blindsided as they walk into the door. Now, like I said, I've had the opportunity to meet Junior in person. What a stand-up guy, really good person. You know, he wasn't one of those famous YouTubers or celebrities that kind of just brush you off just because you recognized him. He took his time with me the day we met. I mean, we spent the entire day together. We had lunch together. Just a really good guy. If you ever see Junior Honduras, whether at one of the Prime terminals or out there in the wild, make sure you stop and say hello to him. He'll definitely take the time to speak with you. Now, although I don't plan on exclusively becoming a recruiting or training channel, I have drawn some inspiration from Junior on how I share my information. I want to make sure that I convey my information in a manner that is in a training standard, because I want to make sure the people that are trying to get in this industry are, again, having some realistic expectations and not just having some salesman trying to get them into a company. And moving up the list to number 6 is Dooner Livingstone, the traveling man, also known as James. So Dooner Livingstone is definitely not one of these channels that you want to be watching with the kids around, because he definitely does not hold back when it comes to adult language, but that's what makes his channel so fun to watch. He's so entertaining. He's very funny. He's got a great sense of humor. He's actually a very intelligent person, and he basically will not hold back on anything, including four-wheelers or truck drivers. And the inspiration I get from Dooner is basically try to keep things, lighthearted, trying to have fun out here. It's not all about business. It's not all about being serious. You got to have some fun, poke fun at yourself sometimes or some other people, and yeah, don't take life so seriously. And coming in at number 5 on our list is No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, hosted by Lyle. So Lyle with No Hippie Trucking Transportation is a lease owner operator. He's purchased his own truck, so he has a wealth of information. He's also one of the great channels to watch if you're trying to figure out what company do you want to join, do you even want to get into the trucking industry. He basically has these 10 to 15 minute chats on his channel that explain what he goes through, and he holds nothing back as well, whether it's good or bad with the company he's with or within the industry itself. He's a wealth of information when it comes to finances as well. He has a financial background. So one of the greatest things about Lyle, for me personally, to this day anyway, is how personable he is. He reaches out to me like sometimes once a week. He actually calls me to see how I'm doing with my progress, and nobody else in the entire industry does that outside of my family. So I appreciate that, Lyle. That's really cool of you. And moving to number 4 on my list is JBG Travels, also known as Johnny Be Good. So JBG was definitely one of the very first channels I started watching when I was researching the trucking industry. And what I really love about his channel is he will show dash footage of him driving for hours. I mean, he just shows what he does. And I think that's so important for people to watch, to see what you're going to get yourself into. JBG Travels channel has definitely influenced me on the type of angles that I want to position my cameras, the type of content I want to show you guys as far as what I'm seeing through my windshield. And that's basically what's created my channel up to this day. He's been a great influence on me. He's been in the industry for 30 years, so he also has a wealth of knowledge that he talks about while driving in his channel. And also just such a positive vibe, such a good human being. You get this positive vibe just from listening to him talk. And yeah, I watch him all the time. All right, so moving into number 3 on my list, and this trucker will be the last trucking YouTube channel on this list. That's because this person I was watching from the very beginning of my research into the trucking industry and also into this company where I work, which is Prime Inc. And that would be Mr. JJ the Trucker. So JJ the Trucker, I don't want to say I've mirrored his channel, but I basically grew my inspiration from his channel because he was one of the very few YouTubers out there that showed the process of what you need to do from the day you start with the company that I'm with, Prime, all the way to where he is today. He's showed his journey. So his channel and my channel are very similar in that respect. The only difference is I documented mine from before I was a truck driver. So I showed a little bit of what I did before I was a truck driver, when I got laid off, the process I had to go through to apply for Prime and the hoops I had to jump through, going through my orientation process. I mean, the entire thing, all the way to where I am to this day, I've documented everything, and I've gained that inspiration from JJ the Trucker. He was such an inspiration to me that I actually used him as my referral. We get referral bonuses, so I definitely used him. All right, so coming in at number 2 on my list. We're almost there, guys. Number 2 on my list, again, is not in the trucking industry. So if any of you have been following me from the very beginning, and I know there's several that have, you're going to know this already. But for those of you that don't know, before I was a truck driver, I was a commercial motor coach bus driver. So I did that for about 2 years before the pandemic shut down that industry. I was laid off for several months and I had to find a new line of work. So that's what led me into trucking. But before I had a trucking YouTube channel, I had a Motorcoach bus driving channel where it showed me driving a motor coach, very similar to what this channel is today, but just on a bus. Unfortunately, I only had about 2 or 3, maybe 4 videos out when I had to completely shut that channel down because of the pandemic. I had nothing else to record while I was on unemployment. So what had turned into a bus driving channel turned into a truck driving channel. So we transitioned from a chartered life to Trucker John. So coming in at number 2 is Wang, and he has a second channel called Motorcoach World, and they are both hosted by James. So both of his channels are very heavily involved around the busing industry. One channel gives you a lot of history about buses and everything you'd want to know about a bus, whereas other channel, Wang, is basically going to show his adventures out there on the road, kind of like what I do here as Trucker John. He's going to show where he goes, the clientele he brings to the different venues, him driving the bus, looking for different venues to eat. Back when I was in busing, there were very few, if any, busing YouTubers out there. I was one of them. Wang was one of them. There were a few others. There were a lot of school bus drivers that had YouTube channels, but nothing that really showed what I'm showing here as Trucker John, or what he is showing as Wang on his channel. And even to this day, that side of the business, that industry, there's really not that much documentation going on YouTube. And it's really a shame, because it's such a great industry. There's great clientele out there, and it's such a fun job. And I wish we had more of it on YouTube. I wish I could actually go back and do that as a YouTuber, and maybe one of these days I will. All right, so now before I reveal my #1 YouTube influencer for my Trucker John channel, I want to give some honorable mentions, because everyone that I've mentioned up to this point were people that that have influenced me before I started my Trucker John career, before I started this channel. But since I have joined my company and I've been in this industry for a little over 6 months now, I'm still influenced by other YouTubers out there that I just didn't discover until I was already in this position. So I just want to kind of talk about those people as well. Now, this is not going to be a 1 through 10. I'm literally just going to list these guys off in alphabetical order, how they are listed in my my subscription list. So starting with my first influencer, we're going to talk about Candace Love. Candace Love is a full-time van life person, I guess you would call it. She lives in her van with her dog out there in the middle of the desert on the road. And I watch her because she has such great positive energy, which again, I like to share with you guys here in my channel. And I like to see how she lives as a minimalist in such a tight, confined area, especially with a dog, and how she survives on a day-to-day basis. Moving on to Driver Lineup. So Driver Lineup is also one of those YouTubers out there that work for Prime that has so much valuable information. He is a lease owner-operator. He's starting his own fleet. He's a team driver with his wife. And he's also such a positive influence in this entire industry and with Prime. They've created an over-the-road crew.com, OTR.com, where they actually try and give back to those unsung heroes here in the Prime family. So those employees within Prime that, you know, clean our restrooms, clean our hotel rooms, you know, service our trucks for us. They keep us running out here on the road. So they've actually come up with this program where we can give back to them financially. Moving on to Johnson's Logic, another great lease operator YouTuber here at Prime that has so much valuable knowledge and information, and such a great guy to watch because he's got such a positive attitude. And trust me, if you've not seen this guy, you need to go check him out. He's perfect if you're trying to figure out if Prime or trucking is the right career path for you. Paging Mr. Morrow. Now, he is not in the trucking industry. However, I just recently started watching him, and he shows different venues throughout his area that I try to incorporate in my channel in some weird way. Because as you know, I don't just show me driving a truck. I like to show those roadside attractions. I like to show you the little trucking museums at the I-80, the largest thermometer in the world. You know, I like to see these other things that I am experiencing out here, and I want to share that with you guys. And I draw that inspiration from him on how he conveys that to his audience. The Million Mile Man. Well, does the name not say enough? Talk about someone who knows pretty much everything. You know, if you have a dictionary to look up a word, well, you have the Million Mile Man to look up what do I need to know about the trucking industry. If you have any idea how much knowledge this guy has, I mean, he's just an amazing person to watch. Tom Green. Yes, the Tom Green that we all knew from the 90s, the wacky comedian. Well, he's actually got a really great YouTube channel about living in a van, the van life, kind of like Candace Love. And he's got his little puppy with him, Charlie. And yeah, I mean, he just goes throughout the desert, living in his van, being a minimalist, just kind of enjoying the scenery and showing his audience. And I gain a lot of inspiration from that and the way he shares that with his audience. Travis Kinley. All right, you guys need to check out this video real quick about Travis Kinley.
Had to get all the animals around me for this one. Simba, whoa, whoa, Simlim gada, himlim gada, Simlim gada, himlim gada, Simlim gada, himlim gada.
Now, if that doesn't say enough about what kind of energy and positive vibe this guy gives off. Super hilarious person. I've talked to him several times through YouTube and through over my phone. Talk about such a positive person. He actually used to be a minister, so you're going to get that one-on-one interaction with him through his video. And he talks about so many awesome things that you need to know as a trucker, whether it be what kind of hours of services are you running. He's talking about home time, how to be away from your family and how to deal with that emotionally. Such a positive person. Please check out his channel. Trucking California with Velox 18. So this guy just bought a brand new Peterbilt. He's an owner operator, brand new. He just got his own authority. And he basically tells you how to do this step by step throughout his journey. One of the things I really love about Velox 18 is he has these live chats, and he brings in his family, his wife, and his kids. They sit down, they all have a conversation, and it's really entertaining and it's fun to watch. And he's really a great inspiration on how you can be a truck driver and be a successful truck driver and still find that work-home time balance so you can have a great relationship with your family. And of course, we had Wild Beard Trucking, another great owner-operator out there that shows his side of the world, what it takes to be an owner-operator. Such a positive attitude, and again, great editing skills and awesome camera angles. I get a lot of inspiration from that. And also, one of these days, if I ever want to be an owner-operator, I'm gaining a lot of knowledge from Wildbeard. And moving into the #1 spot for who has influenced me here on YouTube to create the Trucker John channel. Now, again, these were listed in order from 10 to #1 on how long I've been a subscriber and watching their channels. So I've been watching this channel since about 2014. And so coming in at #1 is The Daily Woo, hosted by Adam the Woo. So before I ever even started a YouTube channel, I've been watching Adam the Woo, and he has inspired me to want to even start a YouTube channel in general. Back before I was in trucking, back before I even drove a bus, he influenced me to just want to start documenting something very interesting, very cool, and something fun for everyone to see who may not have that opportunity to get out there and see it for themselves. Now, Adam's channel has a wide range of venues as far as his #1 would definitely be going to the Disney resorts, whether it be Disneyland or Disney World. He also takes car trips across the country, and he stops at these roadside attractions and gives really detailed information on the history and what they're all about. And it's very fascinating to see him document these events. So not only has he influenced me to want to start a YouTube channel in general, he's influenced me all the way up to this day on how to show that information in a channel, whether it be, again, stopping these roadside attractions, showing something off the beaten path, well, if I could get there with a truck anyway, and share my journey with you guys, because not everyone can get out here and see this. Not everybody will have this opportunity. So to be able to share it with those people specifically, I think is very valuable. And for those that do get out here and didn't realize that's something that you can do, I think you should try. It's, you definitely have to stop and smell the roses. Stop and look at our scenery. Even though you've probably seen it 100 times, take your lunch breaks on the side of that road where there's a scenic overview, like at Wilson's Arch in Utah. Perfect place to just stop and have a quick lunch break, and it's beautiful. So again, Adam has been a really big influence on me. Most likely he will not see this channel because he is definitely one of those YouTubers that are up there. He's going to be reaching 1 million subscribers here before you know it. And yeah, he's a true celebrity, so he's kind of hard to get a hold of. I've never really had a conversation with him. Everyone else has been on this list. I've had some type of conversation, whether it be in person, on the phone, through YouTube, through chatting, through one of their videos. Adam DeWoo is the only one that's kind of eluded me in having a conversation. But one of these days, Adam, if you ever see this, you're going to remember Trucker John is trying to find you. So those were my top 10 YouTube influencers that have led me to what you guys see here today as Trucker John. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of a little different and a little kind of everywhere. I just wanted to throw this together real quick just to show my appreciation to these YouTube creators, because it is a lot of hard work to put this content out there. And when you influence somebody, you know, that means a lot. I know it does for me. I'm still such a small channel. You know, as a recording date of this, I'm just under 2,000 subscribers, and I still get people that email me or send me a message saying that I've influenced them, or they really enjoy my content. That's such a great feeling, and I just wanted to kind of give this message back to my top 10 and my memorable mentions. So if you guys could all do me a favor, just to help me show my love for them, if you can go check out each and every one of their channels. I'll put a description to all of their channels down in the bottom of the video there. So please go click on their videos, check it out. I will not put their videos in order, or their channels in order, so you can't cheat and go down and look. You're gonna have to actually watch to the end of this video, and yeah. So please go and check them out. Subscribe to the channels if it's content that you think you would like. If you like anything you see here on this channel, I'm guaranteeing you're gonna like their channel. Please subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell, and make sure you comment on one of their videos and tell them that Trucker John sent you. All right, guys, I'll see you down the road.